Are you guys ready? Okay, well, so am I. So let's get into it. Here I come. Hola! From the west side. Wednesday, happy Wednesday. This is so weird. It looks like I'm finally in. Hopefully, can you guys hear me? Let me. All right. That's too loud. There. Okay. Okay. So we are still on our microphone, but we are gonna move my banner. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay. All right, there we are. 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 Let me see if I can get as close as possible to me. And as far as way I can, let me move the monitor. So, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. So, I hate how this is. But, tonight I have a little lemonade. So I'm trying to stay as close as possible to this. Maybe I should put them on. Let's see. Okay, so now I have it in front of the keyboard because I don't really use the keyboard when I'm on here. So that's fine. Okay, so we're going to see how that works. And I also have it monitored in here. I think I have it as loud as I can possibly have it without it being, too loud. But I believe you can hear me now, so that's the good part. And I just got to get my monitor together here. It's so weird. glowing in front of y'all. This is why I didn't really put on any makeup today. I have to move away from the monitor because the wind in front of that is just gonna make it go crazy. Alright, so yeah, I'm like all shiny. Maybe I should have put on some powder. Right now, let me make myself bigger on here. I'm telling you guys, it's all about getting the sound quality together with these mics, and I guess the only way to get the sound quality together is for me to literally be like this on this mic. As you can see, my mouth is literally on the other side of the filter. Anyway, you guys, happy Wednesday. Let's see who's in the chat. Hey, Teron. No, it's not a USB mic. It's what is it? It's plugged into a sound card. It's plugged into a sound card. So the mic is filtered through the sound card, and then the sound card is plugged into the computer. But I'm just like over all of this. So I'm probably gonna just go back to my headset. Uh-oh, I just knocked something over. This is the headset that I was using. You see, this was so much better for you guys. I don't know. It's just your regular, like, USB telephone headset. It's just a USB headset. And the microphone quality on it is better than this mic. Or this mic. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. I just knocked the camera off in front of me. All right, so now, but I definitely need to get the whole setup together because y'all, it's just wires in front of me, and I'm just like, ugh. So I am thinking about just getting a Yeti, because I think I'd be better off with and everyone who I know who has Yeti seems to have pretty good sound quality with that mic. It's just like getting the right kind of sound quality on a mic that's not a headset. So I'm not always having to wear the headset. I'm a girl. And I have to style my hair to be in the headset, if y'all get my drift. But like we're basic tonight. I'm just hot. It's warm in the house, but it's cool outside. Oh, the side is facing the front. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Does that make? Let's see. Does that make a difference? Does that make a difference? It still needs me to be be like right up on it though. Ooh, let me turn that down. I have to turn the monitor down. I have to turn the monitor down, y'all. And that's just for the sounds in here, for me to hear. Because I don't want to have that headset on. You know, I don't want to have, there's like a headset here for the sound card. But anyway, let's get past all of the technical stuff that I'm dealing with tonight. Oh, you're a sound engineer. When you see the inside of the microphone, you're looking at the front of the mic. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the front of the mic, and it shows that on both sides. Yeah, yeah. I had it. I have it kind of set up right at the top of the flat. Oh, yeah. I know. It's got to be straight up, and I keep putting it to the side. It's got to be straight up. Okay, so let's see. So this is the way that it's supposed to be. So I have it straight up, and I still have to be right up on this. And it's just because it just doesn't get, like, I can't sit back from this mic, and I think that's what it is. It sounds like it's in the room. Thank you, Mo Grizzly. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not an audio engineer. Yeah, when I was in the studio, I was the artist. You know, yeah, I was the. I need a cloud lifter. Yeah, now that I'm on a more well a more powerful iMac, I probably can do that. Okay, but thank you for the help, because it does sound better than it did, because I sounded really garbled the last couple of days. Appreciate that, friend. But I still think I'm going to end up getting a Yeti. You know, I mean, they're not that expensive. It's just, what I have found with doing this is that you've got to have multiple mics. You can't just have one mic. You can't. So I've got, the headset mic. I've got this mic. I've got this mic, which I used this one for a long time, but I think this one sounds better. I think this one sounds better, and then I'm going to get a Yeti, which will be my, I guess, my next mic, so that I have multiple mics, but depending on what I'm doing. Whether I'm coming on live or whether I'm going to be pre-recording something on mic. Exactly. Yeah, I'm starting to realize you gotta have a few mics. You gotta have a few mics. But I do have good news for you guys. I have good news. Well, good news for me, really, and good news for my son. So I told you guys that he lost his iPhone, and find my iPhone only works if the phone has battery power. If the phone is dead, you can't find it, and you can't even find the last location. So this is what was going on with his phone for 2 weeks. Um, and this was the week that I was just going to go ahead and break down and use the insurance because I'm sorry, there was no way that I was going to give $1,000 phone to um, a young adult who has autism and not have insurance on that friggin' phone because this is not the first phone that he's lost. And it's not the first iPhone that he's lost. Okay? But this time he didn't necessarily lose it. He left it at a work site. But he couldn't articulate to me where he had left it. We figured out when it was lost and we were backtracking, and then finally today they figured out where it was. So he will have his freaking phone back tomorrow. And let me just say, hallelujah, spirit hands. Hallelujah. Cause I need a new phone. And I was gonna have to get him and he was gonna end up getting another phone. This would have been the second new phone he's gotten within, I don't know, 12 months. So now that we have located his phone, what I'm doing is I'm getting him a lanyard. You know those lanyards that the old people and their kids have with their cell phones in it in front of them? Yeah, that's what I'm getting for him because I recognize that he needs that for his $1,000 phone, and that way it'll be round his neck when he's at work. I won't I won't be having to ask you where's your phone, because it's around your neck, and hopefully he'll take better care of it now. So that's my autism life update. Now I want to talk about. I've been really not wanting to talk about this because the whole situation is just upsetting. But um, there are rumors out there in regards to Jamie Foxx, and then we got these cryptic messages on his Instagram today that nobody believes is him. Now, there's all these conspiracies going around in regards to that Diddy is behind this because uh, Jamie knows too much. Now, I'll tell you this. I've never been to a Diddy party, but I have been to some Hollywood parties that were, no cameras kind of parties, you know, and you can, no, they didn't, you couldn't be videotaping with your phone, that kind of stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I would say that you would see just stuff going on. And it's not that you saw weird stuff or but it was a lot of, you know, intimate stuff going on, a lot of illicit substances that would be at these parties. And but nothing was ever out in the open. I mean, there would be rooms and floors and all that kind of stuff with parties. And this is when I was young, when I was like actively working, doing session work and that kind of stuff, because you meet people on both coasts. But I can't imagine what Jamie saw, filmed, or what have you, that would make someone want to allegedly take him out. Now, when he was younger, you know, allegedly he dealt with, hey James, he dealt with the party favors. A lot of people dealt with the party favors. But there had been no evidence of that. And actually, this is just that was strictly through the rumor mill. It's not like, people saw him out there doing anything. But you have to wonder what is going on that a man who appears to be in relatively good health is in his early 50s and suddenly allegedly is having multiple strokes and going into cardiac arrest. And he's been in the hospital for over 2 weeks. And as far as I know, we haven't seen any real evidence that Jamie is doing better. Hey TC, we haven't seen anything. And then within the last 48 hours, we've got friends of his coming online telling people to pray. I mean, we've heard the stuff that the movie set was very tense. I believe this was his directorial debut. Um, and that the medical emergency started on the set of the movie. So, you know, I'm just thinking about John Singleton a few years ago at around the same age. You know, we're assuming, that that Jamie didn't have high blood pressure, but we don't know that. We're assuming because he looked healthy that he didn't have any medical things going on. Hey Terry, we're assuming all of that, you know, but we have to assume but based on what we're seeing, we have to assume that there was something going on. And just because someone is not obese, or not what you consider overweight, or, the things that you think they're going to look like to have high blood pressure or to have heart issues, let's take into the fact that high blood pressure is one of those silent killers, you know, and there are a lot of people walking around with high blood pressure who don't know they have it. But based on what we've been hearing, something was going on with him prior to the medical emergency. And unlike in the case of John Singleton, they got him medical help immediately and fast enough. But he's been in the hospital for over 2 weeks. And that this cryptic message on social media, let me just say, is a bunch of BS. Let me just go over to the Instagram. I would pull it up on the computer, but I don't know how to because I don't remember which password is on my Instagram, and I don't feel like trying to remember what it is at this moment. Okay, so now let me go to Jamie's. Everything is Face ID on my phone. Okay, so it's under his stories. So we have two things. On his page, it says appreciate all the love, feeling blessed. And it's typed. But that's just, you know, but the last actual post that we know was done by Jamie was on April the 5th. And then if you go into his stories, it has this information about his TV show that he does with his daughter that Nick Cannon is going to be guest hosting that, and along with Kelly Osbourne for the upcoming season, which tells you that whatever's going on with Jamie is serious enough, clearly, that they don't think that he's going to be able to handle the duties for his show that he does with his daughter. You know, and then we lost a track and field star, 32 years old, Tori Bowes, just gone. Now I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist here. I know there are people out there who think that some of these quote unquote sudden passings that are happening, the first question people ask is, did that person vote? I can't even still can't say that because I want to keep my stream monetized. But you know what I'm saying. Did they take a jab? because people are wondering. Because this is a track and field athlete, 32 years old, in excellent physical condition, and she just she just died. Remember when Flojo passed in her sleep, and they don't know, they still don't know what, you know, but they know that she had never done any steroids. That was able to be proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. But what's going on with all of this, and folks who are just like checking out of here suddenly? And I heard this talked about in another stream earlier today. And this is something valid to think about. We as human beings are living longer than previous generations. I mean, in previous generations, you would have a few people but now you're having more people who are living well past retirement age into their 80s and 90s, you know. And even though technically there's enough, you know, food and resources on this planet to take care of everyone, there are people in this world who want to have most of those resources for themselves, which is the reason why we have shortages in countries that shouldn't have shortages. Now, I have my own thoughts about the panorama. I do. And, and my thoughts include the fact that I think there's something worse than that coming. And I think those of us who took the jab and those of us who decided not to take the jab should all just pray over ourselves completely for whatever is on the horizon. Because there's a lot of things going on. Keep your eyes open. Don't, you know, don't go for the distractions. Like, that the whole trial, you know, with 45. Meanwhile, Fed Now is coming, and Fed Now went public. Another bank has failed. Interest rates are going higher. And the founder of the biggest competition for Fed Now mysteriously was unalived right before Fed Now was announced to go public. And that they're trying to make all of the money, at least our money, digital. Because there are other countries that are in the process of trying to destroy the value of the dollar and are trying to get other countries to not back their currency with the value of the American dollar, but of other currencies, like perhaps China's currency. Mhm. That's what's going on. And that in a minute, they're going to know what you're doing with all monies that you have because they're trying to get rid of paper money. And if everything's digital, well, digital can be tracked. And that can also control your access to your money because it's not paper. Didn't we have this conversation a couple of months ago? Didn't I talk about this before? Yeah, I did. Pay attention because now, First Republic of California, that's the rich people's bank. I told you all about all those banks came in. Well, now JP Morgan Chase has taken over First Republic. Yeah. That bank, even though all these banks came in, tried to prop it up, it still failed. This is going to be an interesting, um, it's going to be an interesting thing because that means that all the paper that is on the books of First Republic is now going to be on the, the books of JP Morgan Chase. That means all the bank accounts, all the loans they do, and they are a portfolio lender. They don't necessarily do loans for Fannie and Freddie. And they're more, I think they're more of a jumbo lender too. But they portfolio. That I do know. I know that because I interviewed with them. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with all that paper from that bank because, yeah, they're going to have to do something with it. But once again, this is California bank that has failed, and the Fed is about to raise interest rates again. Remember, I kept telling you guys, I was saying we need to pay off all our credit cards. This is why. Pay them off as fast as you can and try to use them as 30-day cards because you don't want to get hit with all that freaking interest. It's better to pay, like if you've got, I don't know, $1,000 on a card here, $1,000 on another card. Pay off each one of those credit cards until you get them, so that you're not paying all that interest. Because even if you have good credit, you're going to have to pay when the interest rates go up, they go up for everybody, including the people who have the good credit. And so with these interest rates going up, it's also impacting people's ability to purchase homes. And the reason what's going on is that people who are selling homes don't necessarily want to sell the house that they're in with that nice 3% interest rate to buy up and have to pay 7 or 8% now, because that's what's going to be in a minute. And all that also means that adjustable rate mortgages are going to start to become more popular again, because people are going to use them to get into homes. But it's not going to be like, the adjustable rates of the past. You know, most people, if they're going to do an adjustable, it's going to be fixed for a certain period of time and not 6 months or a year. We're talking about generally 3 or 5 years or 7 years fixed before it becomes an adjustable rate. Negams are not coming back. Negams are not coming back. Okay. Uh, but I am going to tell you that those nasty stated loans, yeah, the nasty stated loans are out there again. Um, they're not out there for the general public. You're not going to be able to find them at every lender. Um, they're definitely non non QM products, and expect that they'll have crazy rates to go along with them. You know, but I told you guys, but we need to be watching what's going on with with the economy, with the banks. You know, and you know, the president that we have in there right now, you know, they're trying to raise the debt ceiling again. That's what he's trying to do right now. I mean, what is it now? What is it? How many is it? Is it a trillion right now, or is it over a trillion? You know, how much debt are we leaving our grandchildren and our great grandchildren? These people do not know how to run a country. It, they're running our country into the ground. And yet our choices are going to be two old men, three old men, all these old men. And that's coming from me as someone, you know, I, heck, I'm 60. So, and in my personal opinion, we need someone, if anybody, we need, we need presidents that are not in their 70s. We need a leader of the free world who who is not someone of Social Security age. The last young president we had was President Obama, 44. And then before that, it was um, Bill Clinton. Yeah, because they're the only ones who were actually in their freaking 40s when they became president. All these other people, 60s, 70s, 50s. I would take somebody in their freaking 50s at this point. But 79 is people in their late 70s, and you're not, you're out of touch. That is not who should be leading this country. And the sad thing is that, people aren't pushing to get themselves to a point where they could run for president at a younger age. We just have these lifetime politicians. Obama was not a lifetime politician. Now, community leader, yeah, working, in community service, yeah. But think about it. He was a senator, and then he was president, and that's it. And he's done. Now he's out there running his own organization, and Michelle's doing her own thing, and their kids are grown, and he's still only in his 60s. But we're gonna let you want to come in? Come on. You want to we're gonna continue to let these old men run the country. Say hi. You gotta come down and say hi. No. Look up. Look up. They can see. They can see you. Say hi.
Yeah.
Hey. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I know y'all saw him for a minute. He's gone. Say hi. Wave. Come. They see you. Okay. Yeah, that's Dave. Y'all, he's gonna be 28. Thank you. Yeah. And but this younger generation deserves someone other than an old man or old woman, let's not discriminate, as president. Which means younger people need to be looking at this. And I know we all thought it was funny when Kanye was running for president. But you know what? That's the age we need. That's the age we need to be seeing candidates in their freaking 40s. We need to be seeing candidates for freaking president in their freaking 40s. And maybe our country needs to get past itself, to get over itself, and then look at someone other than a man, and look at someone who's not a palm colored man. The fact that we have this freaking two-party system, and I'm sorry, I cannot be the only one who is looking at this election next year, y'all, next freaking year, with, just anxiousness that we're going to have no good choices. And I want people to vote. But I want us to have freaking options, and we just don't. And I know there's a couple of people who are thinking about running against um 46 within the Democratic Party. And I wish that the Democrat, even though I'm not a Democrat, I wish the Democratic Party would seriously think about that because, here's the thing. He did what y'all wanted him to do. He got 45 out of there. Although, as we look at this for the last 4 years, what else has he done? What else has he done? Nothing that I can think of. The only thing I see is that we're being taken back, to the Stone Ages. I mean, you know, they don't want to have the chop shops anymore. You know, has nothing to do with us. You know, it's simply because, you know, palm colored birth rates are going down. They don't they don't really care if we have kids or not. Oh, and speaking of children, black people are losing their effing mind because the brat and her wife Judy have disclosed that their child is going to be mixed. And people feel that she should have took the one candidate that was available that was black. Did did y'all not know that black men do not donate for like about the last 15 to 20 years? That's not what they did. And considering the place that they go to promote donors is college campuses, we can see why. Number one, men don't get a whole bunch of money for donating their sperm. They just don't. They get more money for donating plasma. And sadly to say, there are not a lot of men of color who are American men of color on college campuses. And I don't even think that the, African men who are coming over here to go to college are going to be, no, they're not going to be. So that's what the issue is. And then let us not forget within our ethnicity, there are certain genetic things that some of us carry traits for. And if two people who carry said traits come together, they make a child that has said disease, i.e., the sickle cell trait, which apparently is one of the traits that Judy carries because they had to use Judy's egg for this. I believe the miscarriage was Brat's egg. She didn't have that many viable, so they ended up the majority of what they had was from Judy. I mean, Brat's 48, but Judy has several genetic, traits that are in her chromosomes, sickle cell being one of them. And I don't know if they still do it now, but but back but back in the day, like 30 years ago, 30 years ago when I, got married to my ex-husband, I already knew that I did not carry the sickle cell trait because my parents had been tested. They didn't have it. And then, their kids, we were tested just to make sure that, it wasn't some recessive gene in there, but it didn't run in either one of their families. And the only way you can carry the trait is it has to be in your family. And contrary to, you know, popular belief, all, black people in this country do not carry the sickle cell trait, but a lot of them do. A lot of us do. It's not my family on either side. You know, I'll just say that's probably because of, of the white that's in my family on both sides. Yeah. Mhm. But I have I have first cousins who do carry the trait for sickle cell because one of their parents, is not their mother in this case, her family, it was in her family. So she passed the trait to one of her children. And one of her children didn't get the trait because her husband, my late uncle, didn't carry the trait. But all of these things are things that you have to think about when you are going in for artificial, for fertility and for doing artificial insemination and for all of that stuff. When you are using, you know, the sperm. And it is not like black men, you know, are there's a bunch of them in those banks. Black men make up 5%, less than 5% of the available donors. Okay? So what does that mean? That means that there's very few black options available for black women if they want to have a child through artificial insemination. And, people are saying, well, she could have, maybe they could have gone to somebody they knew, and all of this stuff. That can be messy because then you have to worry about the fact that that person may want parental rights, or that person may have an issue with your lifestyle. As they're part of the community. So all the people out there who are, beating up Brad and Judy, it's really not your business. It's really not our business. But here's the thing. She wanted a black baby. She wanted a 100% black child. However, they ended up with only one black person to choose from. And apparently they saw the picture and he was funny looking. And she don't want her child to be funny looking. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Don't blame her at all. Because here's the things that we need to worry about. Brad is 48 years old. So this is a high risk pregnancy. So we need to pray that she's healthy, that this baby's healthy, that there are no birth defects or anything, because children born to older mothers sometimes do have, some things going on. But because they used Judy's egg, and although Judy is in her, like she's in her early 40s, she's like, I think, 41, because she had several children, her eggs are actually younger than that, because, every time you get pregnant, no eggs go away. You retain eggs for all those months. So that, in essence, lengthens the amount of time that you have eggs available. So I don't think that they have to worry about. I don't think they have to necessarily worry about like um, Down syndrome, which is usually something that could potentially happen. Um, I believe that's what Stephanie Mills' son has. And she did not do artificial insemination. That was her son, was from her. I think she was like in her early 40s, and he's the only child she ever had. I think that's the only pregnancy she ever had. And, so he does have, Down, but Downs is not the same as autism. It is a developmental, but, you know, just like with people with autism, there are a lot of people who have Down syndrome who are able to be fully functioning adults with jobs. You know, so I'm trying to make sure I talk about the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. Oh yeah, shouts out to all the people. Shouts out to the 1.8K views that I got on my short yesterday from the Met Gala for Rihanna and Serena Williams. And congratulations, Serena Williams, on your second pregnancy. She's pregnant with her second child, and revealed that at the Met Gala. And Rihanna came through with her look. She was late. She came after the fact, but I think she killed it in my opinion. And what I'm looking at is the fact that she finds a way to be the fashionista that she is and incorporate her bundle of joy into her look. And 30 years ago when I was pregnant, yeah, that was if I could have been so bold, I sure would have put my bump out there, because as soon as I had my son, I was back to a flat stomach. But I should have done that, but I didn't. I didn't think of doing that. It wasn't on my mind. But let me see. I'm trying to make sure that I talked about everything that I had on my list for tonight, which was what's going on in this county, this presidential race, Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Met Gala, the distractors that are out there for us. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I am going to be putting out some stuff in regards to mental health. I think I'm going to put out something very soon just to kind of talk about how I, as a caregiver, um, work on my own mental health and the things that I do to keep my sanity and to keep my peace. Because being a caregiver for an adult on the autism spectrum is a roller coaster ride. I mean, we went years without an emotional meltdown, and then we had two within a matter of days. But he's back to being himself, I think, and we're going to be working on that with him. I'm trying to get some stuff set up on this computer I have for him upstairs. I've got to update the windows on it, but we are going to be doing some stuff with him to get him to be more conversational. And I'm also going to be working on some things to get him to start doing more reading and effectively so that we can see what he's doing as far as his reading. But you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I know I've been on here just rambling for an hour, and I know there's a whole bunch of BS going on the platform. And yes, I do know that they have been, parents on here comparing children with autism to children with asthma as though the two things are the same thing. Y'all know it just pisses me off when we get on here and pull the kids into our BS. But I got other stuff that I need to talk to y'all about because this May is Mental Health Month. And the nonsense that's going on in Black YouTube. Well, everybody's just jumping out there so that they can get them a click and a view. It's all about the click and the view. It's ridiculous. People are on here showing their ass and trying to get attention. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. I will be back. What's the day? I'll be back on Friday night. Yes, I will. I promise. And I'm in the interim. I will be working on some content. I have to get to I'll see you guys on Friday. Be safe in these YouTube streets. Remember to protect your peace, protect your mental health. And I will see you guys on Friday. Peace. Let me get it out here. Peace. 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 I'm trying to make sure y'all can see my hand. Peace. There you go. And blessings from the West Side. I'll see you guys. I'm out. Peace. Bye, you guys.
Well, guys, that's it for tonight's Not So Random Chat. But I'll see you guys the next time. Until then, peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out. Peace.